Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planets. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Friday, April 24th, 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming through the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Thank you for everyone that contributes to this program and for you guys for watching, subscribing, and all the good stuff to help us in return. On today's episode, we have a big fun one for you. That sounded really weird. We have a fun show for you today. We will first talk to Pat Gregoire, who will not only be calling one of the games, but will also give us a few betting angles for this weekend. And I'll ask him about the finals pick that he mentioned on Lacrosse Classified podcast. Then we'll talk to Captain, asking him if he has any ladders this weekend, and we'll preview the games along with his finals prediction. Then I'll give you guys the crew's best bets and pick 'em and playoff predictions from Tim Dillon, myself, Gamble Guy, and Captain. And finally, I will air an interview that happened last night with myself and Silas Richmond, recently drafted by the Philadelphia Waterbugs. Big PLLs. The Waterbugs. Get out of here. Shame on me. Anyways, I talked to him about the draft and about the moment when he was on the field and found out about it and all kind of stuff. Cannot wait to air that. I'm sorry to the Philadelphia Water Dogs. It's a hard time in Philly right now, okay? Before we get started, the show is presented by the NLL merchandise found at natalkradio.us/NLL. Head there now to gear up for the playoffs. Hey, I think I can say this. The Georgia Swarm are having a whiteout tomorrow. So what will I call it a whiteout? They say it might not be. It's jerseys are going to be white. So that was interesting to me. Also, if you're a Canadian resident, you can't buy the NLL merch, but if you go other places on Amazon, you can buy stuff and it helps us. But it's not my fault. I blame a couple of people. One of them is in politics. One of them is in the league. Anyways, let's now bring in a man who I believe will be on the West Coast this weekend in Saskatoon to call the game. Let's bring in Pat Gregoire, Best Bets champion, by the way. We can officially start plugging that.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. I guess technically the West Coast, it's more of like central Canada, west of myself. But
yeah,
Teddy and Jumbo and some of those BC boys might take umbrage with you if calling that the West Coast.
Yeah, that's like I'm the more geography. Producer Joe used to always say my geography will suck. He was right. I believe it's just kind of like right above Montana. There's like a whole bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, no, you nailed it.
So when are you flying out there, man? Like today?
It's actually going to be an early morning flight for myself and Matt Cullen. So
Wow.
We'll be up bright and early here in Toronto, hopping on a bird, getting to Saskatoon just in time for morning shoot around. So it'll be a quick little in and out. But both of us and Heather Morrison, Saskatchewan reporter, is going to be joining us as our host for that game. So we're super pumped. It should be a great game.
Yeah, we don't need Cody and John, but we'll take Heather. Like, come on. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. What doesn't Matt Cullen do, by the way? Good for him.
Oh, I know. The guy does not sleep. He's a vampire. He's always on the go. But you mentioned John Fraser and Cody Jansen. Head over to Cody Jansen's social media. They're going to be doing some really, really cool stuff during the postseason. So go to them, support them, post-game, during game, pre-game, any game, all games for the playoffs. It's great to see what they're planning on doing there.
They need to make a Undertaker gif where like it's like the radio wakes up, you know?
Yes, exactly.
I was like, guess who's back? Back again, the radio. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, Pat. Again, you were our best bets champion. Big deal, by the way. You beat me by one. That game ago, I was like a couple of games behind. It was tough.
It was a sweat, man. You guys put the pressure on near the end of the year. I think at the start I was kind of walking away with it, but you guys closed the gap. You were on an all-time heater, kind of like the Buffalo Bandits. You went on a heater, stumbled near the end,
Right.
and handed me home floor advantage for the playoffs.
And by the way, we will get to your the championship pick, the matchup that you had, and why you have that. But for now,
oh God.
Well, I mean, it has to be said. So first, let's talk about the rush game. I didn't write this down, but yeah. So you're not on anything in this, but actually, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Close game.
Yes.
Okay.
I took Toronto to cover the 1.5 last game. We went to overtime and it cashed. I think we see something very similar again. I'm not saying it's an overtime game. I'm not saying Sask by 1. I'm just saying I think that this will be in between a goal, either side. So if Toronto wins this game, the bet cashes. If Saskatchewan wins by 1, the bet cashes. I just think it's going to be a very similar game script to what we saw last time. I think Saskatchewan's a team historically comes out slow. Toronto's a team that's been coming out fast. It's just Saskatchewan has to do a better job of answering earlier and often. They can't allow Toronto to lead for 58 minutes of that game. They can't go scoreless for 28 minutes at a time. And I don't think that's going to happen. But I do think both goaltenders will play solid. I think both defenses are going to do a really good job keeping those offenses at bay. We might see some goals in transition, but ultimately a lower scoring game. But the only reason why I didn't take the under, Mike, 1, it's a really, really low number. But 2, both these offenses have shown at points this year that they can go off. So that's kind of kept me away from taking the under.
They also had a game where it was 13-9. I know that was in Toronto, but that's like you're at a 21.5, and it just that number always feels low to anybody. Depending, even though we had a great goalie season, it still felt like just low sometimes. According to the Polar Bears, Saskatchewan's minus 143, Toronto's plus 118 on the money line. This game is at 9:00 Eastern tomorrow. So full disclosure, in my finals predictions or playoff predictions, I'm going to have the Rush winning this game. I picked the game. Where is it at? 10-8. Kind of like that same one goal. I gave the Rush 10 goals. I could also see 9-8, so I could see your point on that. You are right. The Rush starting slow has happened a lot this year. And
big time.
Big on, like, good for them for rallying, but boy, would it feel good for them to get off hot. Not good for your bet, but the reason I ultimately picked the Rush, though, and I got to ask you about this, the rookies still leading the team. If Mark Valley's plays, if he doesn't play, regardless of that in the playoffs, that's the reason why people are hesitant with the Spurs in the playoffs right now because of the youth. Does that matter as much in the NLL? You think it crosses all sports? Because I'm playing a little bit of factor here.
I think it certainly plays into effect, but like this is also when you look at the rookies, a lot of these guys have played in big games and in big championships. You look at CJ Kirst, national champion with Cornell. You look at Sam English, he's won Minto Cups, won a Minto Cup before. You look at Owen Hiltz, he's a guy that already has a pro season under his belt in the PLL. They've played these big games before. So again, it's different when it's at the NLL level, but these are big time players. And I think they're going to come up to the occasion. With that being said, though, you still have Toronto, like these guys that have played here and have been in these moments. And I know a lot of people want to talk about, playoff Toronto, Nick Rose faltering down the stretch. All is fair to say, but when you look at Toronto, Mike, and this is absolutely crazy. I was looking back because we know the boogeymans that are in their closet is the Buffalo Bandits. Well, if you look at it, Mike, they don't have to play them if they go all the way until the final. They're on the opposite side of the bracket.
Yep.
The last time the Toronto Rock lost a playoff game to a team not named the Buffalo Bandits, May 20th, 2017 in the Eastern Finals against the Georgia Swarm.
Ha! Ironic.
So after that, though, all their losses were to the hands of the Buffalo Bandits.
It
So
took me forever to pull this graphic. I apologize for that.
there you go. But there you see, right? So they're going to be on opposite side of the bracket. I think that means something. But I think they also realize they have a very tough team in front of them with Saskatchewan. On the flip side, listen, Saskatchewan down the stretch, it was a struggle. The offense did not look great. The defense and Frank Chiliano at times looked susceptible. But they win that game. And I don't think it necessarily erases what happens. We can just forget, oh, it doesn't matter that they lost 5 of their last 7 games or whatever it was, 6 of their last 8 or whatever.
Right.
What we can say, though, is that a gritty fourth quarter comeback overtime victory can really make that locker room start believing again. So that's why I think I take a lot of credence and a lot of weight out of that game. I said it on Lax Class Roundtable. This is a coin flip game for me, honestly. I think whoever wins this game goes on and wins that side of the bracket. No knock against San Diego, no knock against Colorado. I want to hear more if Andrew Q is healthy, to be honest. I think that will be key for them to go deep. But when you look at Colorado against Toronto, Toronto's matched up pretty well with them. And then I think the veteran championship pedigree that Saskatchewan has is going to play dividends as well.
Let's get to the Bandit Swarm side of things. This is I'm kind of upset that we're all on this, but just so you know, we are all on this. What is it that you like in this game and why? Bandit Swarm.
Bandit Swarm. I gotta actually look up my best bets. I forget what I have in this game. Mike. It's under. Yeah. Why do I like the under? Well, because look at the 2 defenses and goaltenders after the last how many games. I PK from Buffalo Sports Collective said to Teddy Jenner on his episode this week, and even in their game preview, it's a race to 10. I texted him and said I love that call, but I think it might even be a race to 8, just with how well Brett Dobson's been playing, how well that athletic defense has been playing, how good outside of obviously last week against Oshawa. Look how good Matt Vince has been down the stretch. Look how good that defense has been down the stretch. And for, Buffalo has woken up. They have started play better offensively, but they're still not the team that's putting up 15, 16 goals. And I think this is going to be a game that Georgia is going to want to speed things up in between the lines, but offensively, I think they're going to try to slow things down. And I don't think Buffalo really is against that as well. One thing that Georgia does really well is also scoring in transition. Guys like Jacob Hickey, Jordan McIntosh, who's probably going to be a finalist for Transition Player of the Year. Seth Van Scheppen likes to get involved in the rush. Well, what do the Buffalo Bandits do really well, Mike? Take away teams' transition, cut off transition, not allow guys to leak up in coverage. Dane Smith and Josh Byrne and Ian McKay track them back. So I think you take that away from the game. I think 5-on-5 scoring is always at a premium in playoffs, and we don't see as many power plays. But with that being said, the Bandits do have the best power play in the NLL. They're going to have to capitalize on those. But Georgia's got a pretty darn good PK as well. So just everything leads signs to me that this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think if Georgia wants to win this game, it's got to have to be a low-scoring game. And if this ends up being a high-scoring affair, it's probably Buffalo coming out on top.
I agree with the high scoring. Absolutely. I said Bandits. 11 to, I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it. 11-6.
Wow. Okay.
But again, and this was kind of like with the Rock thing. I know now you did make a good point, like circling back to that real quick about their rookies having a little bit of experience. What bothers me about Georgia's side of it, Lyle and Shane Jackson have been off and on, mostly off all year. And Nolan Byrne got hot, real hot. But I'm like, when you run into a buzzsaw, Pat, can you remind the people of who had the 2 most blocked shots in the NLL in case Matt Vince doesn't get it done? The guy, Paul Dawson and Mitch.
Paul Dawson, Mitch Stew,
Mitch Stew only played 14 games, still had one of 2 guys with 30 blocked shots. That's what they do. Steve Priolo is up there, not in the top 2, but he's up there as well. You cannot beat this team. And if your offense has any struggles, which Georgia's had a lot, unless you go into the round table that is Rochester and goal. I mean, I want this so badly to be an 8-7 game. But there's going to be a time in this game where I feel like Georgia is going to keep on getting beat by the defense. And I think Buffalo's going to inch away. 11-6 is close because I think it's going to be a close 11-6, but it's going to slowly pull away, and Georgia's just going to be frustrated. That's how I feel.
And I don't think I gave a score out to on the round table this week, but I think I had a similar game script as you. I said I think Georgia's going to stick around. They're going to be able to keep pace, and then it was just Buffalo's veteran experience just near the end of the game just start to pull away. So, I mean, the way that you lay that out, 11-6 makes sense with probably a little more of a flattering scoreline to Buffalo, but I just. Listen, I think this is an incredibly difficult matchup for Buffalo, having to go onto the road, going up against Brett Dobson, going up against this defense. But I don't know in your right mind how you could go up against Buffalo at this point. For me, if I'm wrong here, I'll put up my hand and say I was wrong. But I'm living and dying by the Buffalo Bandits until they prove me further.
Dobson is going to have. I'm going to predict he has at least 45 saves, maybe 50, and they're still going to lose. That's going to be how heartbreaking this game's going to be for me. This is another one I thought about as well. I just could like the 5-4 because this screams very similar. Like Seals offense is not great, even though theirs was better than the Swarm this year. But the offense is not great. Both defense and transition can go crazy, but Buffalo's just got the firepower. I still think the key might be Joe Rez. I don't think we've seen the peak Joe Rez this year. I think he's been saving a lot.
We talked about it. It takes a while to get acclimatized with the offense and getting getting used to it. He had a hat trick last game. I think because they played so poorly, people are forgetting that the game against Vancouver, 3 goals and 4 assists.
He had a slow start of the year with the Wings, so it's like he's building up.
Yeah, and I think they probably will incorporate him a little more into the offense as well.
Dahoga's health is going to be. I think him crashing and banging. If he's healthy, they're fine.
Dahoga. I think actually I should preface this with a lot of these picks. With Mark Matthews, I think it's vital that he's there.
Their offense is way better with
Oh yeah, in this game, I think Dahoga and Chase Scanlon. Like if those guys are healthy, it's a much easier path for Buffalo. I think they can still win without them. I just think it's going to be a lot easier if those two guys are there.
It's Clay on this. It's Clay Scanlon, not Chase.
Yeah, sorry, Clay Scanlon.
There's 2 of them. Yeah, okay, make sure. Now one final bet for you is a Keegan Ball point total in the Vancouver Halifax game. I like this because Warren Hill's been awesome. So tell us about 7 points here.
Yeah, I think just 7 points for a playoff game against a defense and goaltender that's been super sharp is a bit too high. It's a bit too high, especially considering when you look back at the last time these two teams played. Keegan Ball had 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists. Not a bad night, but they only scored 8 goals. Do I think that maybe we see a little bit of a more inspiring offensive performance from the Warriors this game? Yeah, I would hope so if you're Vancouver, but I mean, Mike, damn, this Halifax defense has been completely locked in for the last 4 or 5 weeks, and Warren Hill has been outstanding. So for it to be 7, again, it's not me fading Keegan Ball and saying Keegan Ball's not going to have a great night, because he could have 6 points and this bet still cashes and still has a great night. Like he could have 3 and 3. He could have 4 and 2. And we're still talking about what a great game Keegan Ball had. Correct. I just think it's a little bit of disrespect to the T-Birds defense and Warren Hill for having this player prop that high.
I love that. I said this game would be 11-8, but I also flirted with the 10-8. I really, really, really want to give Vancouver's offense more credit, but like you said, Warren Hill and that Trevor Smith, you mentioned it. I was trying to figure out why they look better in transition. You mentioned it. the last 2 or 3 games he's been there and healthy, it's been like night and day. Like they're cashing in on transition now, which is massive, and it could slow down the game, but at least for Vancouver. No, like, well, again, like Vancouver's offense, if they explode, like good for them. But you're being what we've seen.
No, of course, and I think there's a reason why Halifax is the underdog in this game. They're on the road. They're the 8th seed. They're going up against the number 1 seed. But I do tend to feel like this could be a closer game. We saw it be a closer game, but at the same time, like, if Vancouver flexes their muscles later in this game, I also wouldn't necessarily be surprised. I think each and every one of these teams have a path to victory and would not be surprised either way.
Yeah. So before we get to your finals matchup here quickly, I forgot to mention the last game. So Coolbet is on 3 of the 4 games. They're different totals than the U.S. books. I don't know if you know that yet, but
I don't know that.
Thunderbirds Warriors, you guys are at 21.5. Everyone else is 20.5. Okay. Bandits Swarm, you guys are 21.5. Everyone else in the U.S. 19.5. That's insane to me. Because y'all are like, but again, I think y'all screwed me like a week ago with that. And I think it's funny. I meant to tell you that on the air. That's the reason I lost. Because I threw that you conspired with the Polar Bears, and I could have tied you. I said, thank you, Polar Bears. Screw you, Pat. No, I'm kidding. And then the Seals Mammoth, you guys are a goal under. Everyone else is at 21.5.
Yeah, that one is interesting to me. I could not really get a read on that total just because, San Diego's defense and Chris O'Reilly have been great in the second half of the season, and we know what the Mammoth can do defensively as well with Dylan Ward in between the nets. But, I don't know, if Colorado Mammoth's offense is having a night, that could crest over 20 goals pretty easily. So that's a stay away from me. The entire game, to be quite honest, is a stay away from me. I think Colorado wins. -164 is a bit too juicy for my liking. If you can get something around that 150 and under, I'd probably take that. But it's not. So
and Bet365 got scared this week. Forget their player props. They didn't post anything.
Yeah, I know. I believe there's a sleepy book that might have a blue in their logo that is currently has the Georgia Swarm as favorites in that game. So depending on which way you want to lean,
I think found you can out get the Score and FanDuel have that.
Actually. Oh, both of them do now. Okay,
so. And the DraftKings Bandits are +1.5, but they're both -115 though.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So they're a little more respectable. But come on, guys. As a Georgia resident, buy it while you can.
Yeah. Or if you like Georgia to upset, Coolbet's probably the spot that you wanted at +115 or get them, at a goal and a half. -120.
Allison Schneider teased if I don't even come to this game, she's going to have to relinquish my rights. If I keep saying Buffalo's going to kill us, we're going to be in trouble. That's what he's right. That's what we're talking about, Kathy, in the US anyways. But finally, let's talk about your now you weren't allowed to give a winner. That's fine. You also I'll say it. You also did want to give a bracket challenge. That's fine. But Pat, I'll put you on the spot here. You did pick the Rock and the Bandits, which I would love, by the way, for the finals matchup. Do you have a winner, though? Are we going to do that?
Oh, it's Buffalo. If I'm going to pick someone, it's going to be
I
Buffalo.
think everyone knows that because you sit on OTCB all year.
I've been saying it all year when they were losing. I was still saying, as long as this team gets in the playoffs, I'm just not going to bet against this team. I'm not going to say that they're not going to. And I'm fine with it. I'm fine. If they lose to Georgia, hand up, I was wrong, right. But they're the 3-time champions. They still have Matt Vince between the pipes. They still have Dane Smith and Josh Byrne leading out that offense. They still have Paul Dawson and Steve Priolo and Mitch. I love that. I love that. Partially, listen, I think the easy picks would be, okay, Vancouver or Buffalo, and then Colorado on the other side. I think that's but it's chalky. It's boring. Like, I don't want to do
know.
what everyone else did. So I said, okay, you know what? Give me the drama. Give me what we've been dying for, which we've never had before. We talked about at the start of the year. Everyone was, pissing and moaning. Oh, we only get Buffalo, Toronto one time. Oh, no. Well, how about this? How about this? A 3-game series for the NLL Cup. Wouldn't that be sweet? Wouldn't that be nice? And we talk about slaying the dragons, getting rid of the skeletons in your closet. That would be the biggest challenge for this Toronto team to do so. So, listen, am I uber confident in my pick? Not really, but I wanted to go against the grain, and I wanted to pick something that I haven't seen many other people have already.
I want to surprise people a little bit at the end of the show, but I'll let you go here on this note. At the end of the show, I'll give everyone's Tim Dillon's finals pick. But the man who actually caught me and fell one game.
Does he know Vegas isn't in the playoffs?
That's what I'm saying. Well, you're going to like this. In the first round, I'm not kidding. It couldn't have been more Tim Dillon, okay? Seals, Rock, Swarm, Birds. All right?
He loves the Birds, man. He
now,
loves the Birds.
Now, I laugh. My God. That's close. It's funny because
what?
You want me to tell you what it is?
I can wait. We can wait. Let's wait.
All right, but this thing.
I'm going to be watching. I'm going to get off this.
He got hot. I'm going to knock it. Like, he told me, let me do some research. Like, wait, that's what you came up with? Okay.
Well, he probably just look. So if he's got Halifax, sorry, you said Halifax, San Diego,
all the underdogs.
Okay, so he took all the dogs.
In the U.S., maybe not, but whatever.
Okay, so he took Georgia, which is shocking because they don't have a face-off guy. He took the Thunderbirds, Jake Withers. He took San Diego, Trevor Baptiste. And he took Toronto Rock. He hates Jake Naso. I mean, it's very predictable.
He does hate Jake Naso. If face-offs do matter, we're learning from Tim Dillon because he got hot at the end of the season. So
yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's been. I feel like I've been pretty quiet on the whole face-offs matter subject. That's amazing. I've been pretty quiet about the face-offs matter thing, and like, listen, I think we have completely lost the plot when it comes to that. Like, I think now people just say like, "Oh, face-offs." I thought face-offs matter. It's like, guys, we're not saying if you win face-offs. If you win face-offs, doesn't mean you're going to win the game. Okay? If you are loose balls important, Mike?
No,
loose balls important.
It's good. Ask the Rush. It's funny. 2 things. One, the Rush against the Rock. Watch Jake Naso performance, and then last year's Thunderbirds Rush game. Tell me if the Rush on that last possession picking up that loose ball didn't matter.
Exactly. So I like loose ball battles, they matter. Power play matters. All these things matter, but it's when someone says, power play is super important, transition is super important, it matters. But then when we talk about the face-off battle, if you say face-offs matter, it's like, no, it doesn't. That doesn't win you games. It's like, well, winning the loose ball
transition, power play, you can have more power plays, you don't win the game.
Exactly. If you win those battles, the more of those battles you win, your likelihood of winning is higher. So I've jumped off that train. It's not that I don't believe it. I just think we've lost the plot of it. And either you're on the side of where face-offs are the most important thing in the game, and then on the other side, it's like you don't just let's play sixes and blow the whistle and take the ball out of the net. So I just wanted to stand on my soapbox there for a second because I feel like the plot has been completely lost when it's come to that argument now.
I just realized it just occurred to me because I saw the baseball and the bird. The 2 things in the background are you drawing a Blue Jay on the Blue Jays, and you drawing a Buffalo for the Bills. I like good drawings, by the way.
It wasn't me who drew, but I'll take the compliment anyways. But I mean, if you do look back here, that's a Buffalo.
Yeah.
That is a bird, but that is Toronto. That is red, blue.
Right.
Toronto, Buffalo, NLL Finals, maybe. I don't
it's
know.
A sign. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pat. It's enough for you. Oh man,
I'll leave.
Safe travels, Pat Gregoire. Unbelievable. he has been consistent on the Bandits all year, so that was awesome. All right, folks, when we come back, we're talking to Captain out of the Captain picks. Is he doing ladders? And how's he looking for the playoffs this year? What does he think will unfold? And stay tuned for the crew's best bets and predictions and an interview with Silas Richmond, a very highly touted prospect in both field and box lacrosse. You're watching Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis. Before we get to our regular scheduled programming, I wanted to show you guys this video I came across from a person named Daniel Galbraith via Facebook in a Desert Dogs fan group. And I wanted to let just a quick statement on this because I want to show this video. Again, I screen recorded this video, but it was posted in a public fan page group chat. So here's this.
This is on behalf of the fans in Section 10. Will you please work on defending your left side in the off-season, please?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. I shared that video on Twitter to make people aware of something that I think sports fans are taking for granted, especially, not saying all of them, but we might take for granted as NLL fans here. We know the NLL players are super, super accessible. And this looks like it might have been after a game with a meet and greet with the players. I know the Swarm have done it every time I've been up there, trying to gain access with the fans, all right? If these guys were millionaires, you wouldn't see them after the game. And there is a time and place to criticize a guy. And even if you had criticized him, don't put a camera in his face. I am not here to personally attack the person who did that video. I'm here to, I want fans to understand at a moment like that, Landon Kells is not expecting to be insulted or you to coach him up. I just want us to appreciate these athletes. I told people, I made a joke about the other day, I mean it. When I go to Buffalo, and yeah, the fact like Landon Kells was shaking his leg, clearly he was a little bit anxious from it. When I go to Georgia tomorrow, I told people, listen, I've been critical of players. I've had my fun with the Bandits. If I see Dane or Josh or any of those guys in the locker room, I'm going to go up to them if I can, after the game and fist bump him and just tell him, just say, hey, fist bump, I get it. I appreciate you for all that you do. Because we should not, I tell people, I should not have as much access as I do because I am just a startup media fan, technically. I don't work for ESPN. And for these players to sit there after a game and for you to use that moment to criticize them, we can't do that. Because that's not, first of all, if you want to do media, I'm sure the Dogs would love an extra media person. Every team would love more media. Captain's got media passes. I've got media passes. They'll take your media. So if you want to do that in the post game, go ahead. But don't do it when he's expecting to be there to sign your hat or shake your hand or talk about life. Please do not use that as an opportunity to bash him on behalf of Section 110. Come on, man. And again, you may not have understood the gravity of what you're doing, but one of these days, it won't be that easy to access these guys. Don't take this for granted. And frankly, don't ruin it for other people. Because if this becomes a trend, which I don't think it will, but if it does, we're not getting access like we thought we once did. I hate to bring on Captain now, but I mean, he's been around the barns. He knows how it's like. So, Captain, what's up, man?
I was just getting caught up on that Facebook post there quick. Holy.
And people in the comments are attacking him. I don't think we should attack somebody. I think we need to let people know, let's not do this again. Because I don't know how often that happens. And I never really thought about it before.
Yeah, I don't like, so I can tell you a story in Edmonton. They didn't really have like a post media scrum there. I was with Dawson and a couple others. I can't remember the other two, but the coach was like very nice. Came out and did an interview, like kind of in the hallway. Like it was an awkward spot, but where we were, the players were going from like their change room down to
the bus or whatever.
No. Like even more intimate. Like there's another area where they had trainers and like post-workout food and different things. So the players are like kind of going to get food and different things. So we interviewed the coach and then we were all leaving as a group. And like Dawson knows the players personally. So he saw Dobson and him and Dobson just had a quick chat. And like Dobson legit, like if I'm not mistaken, like he had food in his hand. So we just, hey man, like good game. Yeah, whatever. And then like we were on our way. So me and Dawson kept going. Well, the other two media people, like once they realized that was Brett Dobson, but they pulled a 180 and went and like cameras up and like,
yeah.
Interviewed a guy right there. And then, I mean, like Dawson and I both looked at each other like, you know, we feel bad for Dobson there. But yeah, like I've seen it. And then every game I go to, like post game, like a lot of the players are out. Like in Hamilton, like Latrell Harris was out with his family and a bunch of people too, right? And like I don't even take pictures of anything of that. Like it's their time and that's their sort of like, you know, time with friends and family and whatnot. I get like every fan has questions and, you know, and maybe the fan that asked Kells the question, like he probably didn't have any ill intent.
No, and his comments in there are saying he's like, if you're positive, yes, but it doesn't, in that moment, that's not the time for that.
Yeah, because like, I mean, most of y'all have heard and seen me in some of these scrums. Like I get things mixed up and messed up all the time. And I don't mean it in any disrespect or anything like that. And maybe this is just like a sort of a separate thing. But aside from it, yeah, it's, you know, like hopefully things like that don't continue. I mean, it's a positive and a negative. Like
another great point.
People do want to say, like people do want to kind of get to know these guys more, see them more and everything like that. Cause they are like star athletes. And Kel's handled that whole situation very well as also. So, but yeah, let's get back to some playoff talk here.
One more thing I'll say, just so you know, I did text you someone's response to it, but don't say who it was. I will also tell people I did reach out to Kel because here's the thing. I put it on Twitter because I thought like people just fans need to be aware. Like, let's be careful with this. I've been critical of Kels on the show, but I'm not going to go up to him in a spot like that and say, "Hey, by the way, you suck." That's not how it works. Like, there's a time he should be expecting when he's in a media scrum. Okay, I'll get some tough stuff here, but don't do it when I believe that was the game they played in San Diego, the second game of the weekend, and he's just they didn't make the playoffs, and he's gonna meet you and greet you, and you're taking advantage of. That's not right for me. So, but I did just want to mention that. All right, so now you're right. Let's switch to the games. Do you have a ladder this week? I know the week 21 didn't help us out there.
Yeah, well, so
Good on you though for cashing out.
Yeah, actually, man, what a ride.
Yeah, not bad.
So yeah, I'm very thankful I cashed out. But I did put up a pic. I was telling you that I was thankful enough to kind of find a spot on like a Discord with some other cappers that I was showing you, like there's over 5,000 people on this one. We went from 500 people in the old Discord to one with 5,000 people. So I ended up putting up a play Sunday night literally after you and I talked about Georgia wanting to win that game. So I threw up on that Discord a -1.5. I didn't put it on Twitter. Do I regret it 100%? Because a lot of the people on X have really helped me and supported me, and many of them are true fans, so they love to throw a little coffee money around and watch the game. But on the contrary, we're able to get a few more eyes onto the sport because through these Discords, like I think there's been 4 or 5 different times where like people will message me and be like, "Holy man, like I just bet on a game and it's in my city and I didn't even know, and like now I want to go to a game." And the amount of times like that happened, I was like, this it's kind of funny, but that just shows you like there's people everywhere betting on sports, and the more people that can see how exciting this sport is to watch, it's it's going to do great things for us. So yeah, I will have a ladder.
Okay, real quick, people asked this. I don't know if he's on Twitter, but if he is, I just retweeted the Brody_bets guy, that post he made with the graphic, so they can find it through there, I'm sure, unless you have a better way to do that.
Dude, I'm like the worst with this stuff. I have to ask these guys, like, "Hey man, shoot me a thing so I can get a link to this stuff so I can pass it on to other people." I'll look into it. I can get a link and I can probably get like a free month and stuff, and for different people that want to see it. So we've got about a month left of this, but yeah, it's all through. It's all on X. So if you follow me on X,
Brody_bets BRODIE_bets. I retweeted it on the Daily Dive.
Yeah, and then I'll throw a retweet out later today for it. Unfortunately, I'm the only lacrosse picks in there, but yeah, I am looking forward to making some ladder bets this weekend. But yeah, playoff time, and I'm not going to let a day waste. You're going to laugh at my my bracket versus my bets.
I'm dead
coming up, but yeah, we'll shoot some bets off at the end of after we talk about each game.
Yeah, so tonight Halifax takes on Vancouver. Because we didn't do our handicapping, this is kind of like a live handicapping thing. Great. I said, where's my at? I said Warriors 11-8. I can see a 10-8 game. I think this will be a back and forth thing. I still don't trust Vancouver's offense, especially against that healthy Birds defense in transition. So I could also see like a 9-8 or 9-7 game. But that's where I landed with the Warriors. I think they will be too much, but I can see the Birds hanging around, making this a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, man, it took me, like, I had to really dive into a few things on this one to kind of get my head wrapped around it. From a bracket point of view, like, Halifax is a decent team to throw an upset here, especially with the way Hill has been playing, and the way the boys have finished off the season. But on the contrary, Vancouver had a brutal start at home compared to like other seasons, right? So they were 3-3 up until the last half of the season when they've won their last 3 at home, including one against Halifax in a 1-goal game. So, and Halifax too, like they are putting up more goals per game at home, despite not having the greatest record this season.
Right.
So I'm back to leaning on the other part too. Was I thought Withers was going to dominate the face-off.
Yeah, he actually got beat by Adler. That was crazy.
Yeah, like Adler's a decent draw guy here. So
yeah.
And I'll reword it. Like, I know everyone goes face-offs matter, but like, let's just put it in this sort of phrase here. Like, face-offs count. So when it comes to the fourth quarter and we're dealing with, a 1 or 2 point game, that's when they can really count. When you're trying to get the ball, you're depending if you're down or up, you're trying to get that timeout. You're trying to get the last
keep
possession.
Momentum. Yeah.
Yeah, the momentum thing too. But in these low scoring games, like, you don't have as many quick, drawn goals. So,
right.
They may not matter each and every time, but when it counts, like, you got to make them count. So, I flipped and I leaned back towards Vancouver. I love the money line here. And actually, because Mama didn't rate no quitter, I'm actually going to throw down my ladder bet this week on the Warriors money line. So I'll make a post later because I am going to do step 1 for X.
Yeah.
And just so I don't feel like people should have to double up to catch up. So I'll start it at X at the beginning. But
DraftKings has it at 175. I don't know where you're starting it on, just so you know. Those are the best. The best odds for Vancouver are minus 175. It's up to 196 on CoolBet.
Bro, you sleeping out there? MGM 165, son.
Even better. Even better.
Up, man.
You didn't send me those.
I know. I just seen them.
No, you're good.
I think they actually just posted them today, to be honest, because MGM didn't have it up last night.
Well, 365 are still waiting on them. They seem like they're sleeping on their 65th day again here.
They're scared. They're scared. They saw you guys' best bets finish off. They've seen how everyone's doing in NLL this season. They're scared, man. We got them right where we want them.
You gotta be smart. So this is my immediate reaction to Vancouver money line. All right. So wet right now.
Oh my goodness.
I love that sound bites.
Does that count as a swear jar?
That's what I'm saying. Does that count like $50? Yeah, you're right. Let's do Bandits at Swarm tomorrow now. Oh, by the way, I was going to say it now. I actually like the Warriors to cover in that game. Minus 118 on CoolBet. Listen,
the Kahuna's on this guy.
Yeah. Ain't no cat emoji this time, are we? I think Vancouver is better. And I'll tell you why I actually did this ultimately. I think Ottawa let Halifax in the playoffs. Now, do I think Halifax is a better matchup for Vancouver? Yes. But do I think they were the 8th best team all year? No. I don't. I think if the Blackbirds do not leave this door open of here, come here, and if, step here and wipe your shoes there, and I think they let a big door and let them off the hook here. I think we're going to find out. We're going to find out late in this game. Vancouver was better all year. It's going to be a sweat, but I expect a late goal to really help us out here. Next up, I will be in Georgia. And in case folks did not hear me yet, I told Pat I could see a Georgia losing 11-6 here.
You're going to Georgia right after you just said they're going to lose. Holy, get a half a dozen eggs ready for this cat.
I would love if I got to drive home in my friend's car. Shout out to my buddy who's driving me, because my car sucks. I would be excited if I went in there smelling like eggs because they pinned me. But I don't think it's going to happen. Now, what's interesting about this game, Captain, is there is no 20.5 here unless you want to pay the bills. This is 19.5 or 21.5. I put the best odds up. The Buffalo plus 114 is that's a lie. It's not Buffalo plus. That's a lie. I don't even know why I did that. It's Georgia plus 114 on CoolBet, and then Buffalo's best odds are minus 105 on DraftKings and FanDuel. I apologize for that.
Hold on, Georgia's plus money on CoolBet?
Yes, because they're smart. The Polar Bears give credit where Polar Bears are due.
That's a good arbitrage bet there if you got a couple of books.
You mean if you live somewhere other than Ontario like yourself?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm terrible. You need to like get one of your friends. Like, I'm sure you can make couple of phone calls. Hey, this isn't a ZJ's call this time. We're making bank this week. What? So Mike, I'll go first here. Like I said 11-6 Georgia. I could see as low as 9-6 Buffalo. I mean, not Georgia, Buffalo. But I could see, I think, like I told Pat earlier, I see a scenario where like it's close, and then Buffalo's got too much guys on offense. I think Georgia's offense is going to rear its ugly head again, and they might get better in a couple years. They're not beating Buffalo. This is not happening.
Yeah, like the last time they met, they basically went blow for blow until the third quarter when Buffalo kind of got, I think they put up four near the end of the quarter there, and it was kind of the dagger.
Half. Yeah.
But boy, a lot has changed since then.
Correct.
In that game, Lyle Thompson was pretty much just out sightseeing. He had 1 assist on 11 Georgia goals. Since then, he's been putting up not his career numbers, but he's made a few more appearances in the last couple of games, which has helped the team out.
Right.
I think this one's going to be very close, especially seeing now. I get you don't want to put a lot into last week,
Don't fall for it, Captain.
But like Dougie really goalied the Bandits in that first half, and
will be a tough first half. I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and like the band, like when I talk about teams being in the right spot against the right team, like Georgia is probably the team you want in a single game elimination if you want anybody to put out the Bandits, just because like we know
Dobson, yeah.
We know like Dobson can goalie these guys. Last week they got goalied in the first half. Once you flip script into the second half, like the Bandits kind of finally realized, okay, we got a playoff game to focus on. So we're not going to kill ourselves to get back into this Oshawa game. But that first half, like they did everything they could to get it through, and they couldn't. Now you also add in that, like, Georgia does have a younger defense core, but they've got a big squad. Like they've got a lot of big cats on that team. So we're going to have two teams taking up a lot of space out there. So I don't foresee a lot of goals being put up. And if that's the case, and Georgia has every chance all game long as long as they can hang around, like they can take this one.
I want to implore people, because this is not ever available any other book unless I'm weird or I'm not seeing it. I'm gonna, I don't know if I'm predicting this, but I could see a scenario, because this could also work for my prediction, where Georgia is leading by a goal at the half, like 5-4, and Buffalo still beats them out in the second half. First half lines at Cool Bets, and they're not available yet because the game's tomorrow. I will be looking forward to that, though. I think you could get that at plus money for that, and still get your Buffalo Bandits bet in there.
Yeah, God bless them for putting up some of those first quarter lines.
Georgia allows a lot of crease shots. Plus, another thing is like Buffalo, they're really good at like diving in and they're good like at cutting to the rim, like like driving to the paint.
Oh yeah,
like the NBA. And I think if that is a thing that People said, I'm just gonna start calling him Bolt. I think that I could see a scenario where, like I said, especially if DeHoga's healthy. I don't know if he is or not, but if DeHoga comes to Georgia, man, and he's crashing and banging, Joe Rez takes his outside shot, Josh Byrne. I mean, it's just too much. This is how it is.
I feel you.
But you are right, though. Great point by you. If there's a team that can knock Buffalo off in one game, it's a San Diego, it's a Georgia, a team like that, Like, why is this possible? You know what? We're not doing this. Oh, no, it's not easier. It's horrible. All right, next up, let's head to I'm so mad that Georgia could not flex their game to 7:00, by the way, because there was nothing I would love more than to once again be in the hell of ESPNU. I don't even know why I care about that, but it's whatever. All right, but next games, let's do the Seals at the Mammoth. Colorado, I think with or without Q, I think they get this done. My best bet for this game is actually Mammoth to cover as well. Minus 105 on fan. I think of the covers this week, I think they're the most likely to. Because
so if you get all these bets, like next week you'll be so pumped up. You'll have to go through doors sideways. Be like, who do you think you are? I am.
A few things will be growing on me. I have big, huge pockets. No, so my thing is, as now historically speaking, it would be sensational if San Diego pulled off the upset here. Like, okay, Patrick Mail, we'll give you another year. Why not? But it's also crazy because I think same thing with the Buffalo Georgia game almost. Seals offense cannot score. I know they beat up on Bouquet and the previously mentioned Landon Kells, but make no mistake, that's not happening. Dylan Ward, and we found out earlier in the year, Captain, Nathan Whittam can come in the game and save his life and save him a little bit. So I think Colorado, because of how great the offense is, I gave Jason Bishop my assistant coach of the year for anybody that cares. I care. And I think his offense was working. Hey, remember I called out Jack Hanna? What he did the last 4 games? Blistering the net. Come on. You still have Will Malcolm. Still have a young, feisty Owen Ron. They've got Dylan McIntosh, guy who always watches the stories and interacts. We appreciate him. Colorado's got guys. Oh, and their defense is not too shabby. So I think they pull away. I don't know if this game is close. I picked the score at 12-9, but I'm being generous with 9 goals there. But Colorado's at home, and I know you're going to mention the home scoring. That's where I lean on this, is the home scoring of Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado puts up 3+ more goals a game
insane
at home than on the road. Yeah, it's really insane. Even though the last time these two played, it was in the Loud House and it was a high scoring close game. I just deep diving into the past few games in the season, right around the time the Seals beat up on the Wings halfway through the season, I said they had a soft start, and the second half is basically going to make or break them. I honestly think they got into the playoffs due to other teams being bad versus them being good.
Right.
But right after they beat up on the Wings in Oshawa, they had a stretch where they legit played every playoff team.
Close as heck, too. They just could never finish the
Colorado,
job. Yeah.
Then they played Vancouver, then they played Saskatchewan, then they played Toronto, and they lost every one of them.
Buffalo.
All 4. Bing, bang, bada, boom. Yeah, well, yeah, Buffalo was in there. Crazy. And then they did catch a win against Georgia in that stretch, but
all of those games were 2 goals or less, by the way, which is crazy.
And they were close games. You can give them credit on a few points, but I honestly don't believe they're deep enough.
Correct.
To make a deep playoff run. And I don't quite think they're deep enough. And I don't think a Rig has it in him to upset the Mammoth in this game at the Loud House. So in a 1-game elimination, I'm with you. I'm leaning Colorado all day.
If this was in San Diego, I would not mind a little bit of trust in the Seals. But in Denver, the Mammoths just are so comfortable in that barn playing on offense.
Oh, yes.
And when Baby Shark plays, I don't know. There's a reason they don't stop playing that song. When it plays, they score a goal. It's ridiculous.
That's awful.
But again, Pat mentions this, but it's it makes your point. It makes our point the Mammoth are going to win. But it's also they can hang around, which is why I gave them a 12-9. But another scenario where it's they try to keep it close and they just get run out the building in the end. So that's why I think the Mammoth are going to cover. This will be a 4th quarter. It's okay, that was easy. Come on. Finally, the other game airing at the same time, it's Pat Gregoire, Matt Cullen, and the crew will be in Saskatchewan. Good luck on the delayed broadcast. Shut up. The Rush will be hosting the Rock for another thriller in that place. Ugly floor. You know what's funny? So sometimes like you'll be showing new friends the game for the first time, and I hated the buddy who's driving me up to Duluth in his awesome truck is actually one of the first games he watched was a Rush game at home. And he said, man, that is an ugly and eye-bleeding field.
I think it's better than the Roughnecks. Holy, because not only is it hard to see the ball and with that in the background, but if you look close, man, that floor is beat up, dude. Like it's got holes in it.
Oh yeah, like they'll show like the floor angle, and it's like, oh, like you're tripping over a carpet.
Yeah, dude, you're like,
or a black hole.
Yeah.
But like, and I just wanted a little side tangent that it's not just home floor advantage; it's a fan seeing that for the first time, like my eyes, like the SpongeBob meme.
I'd love to see the league get to a point, like just like what the CFL is doing, where all the fields are going to be the same. There's no longer going to be a difference in
college football. Like I understand like the Boise State thing, but I know there's another school that does the red. But you're right. If you're a serious league, like we got to stop the gimmicks, man. It's like put it all one turf. Even the NFL, there's a big argument for let's have all one generic field, like the grass or whatever they're doing in Ottawa. So whatever. I picked this game as the Rush 10-8. I could see lower like 9, but I'm going 10. I think the Rush's offense, when they're clicking, I know obviously this game could go over because of that too, but I think they're gonna put enough on offense. I don't think they're gonna have to rally around the troops and have to come back again. I think they will set the tone early. I don't know if you saw the highlight that I tagged in of Frankie just grasping at straws down there for no reason whatsoever. But you saw who saved him, Mike Messenger. I think they're going to set the tone early. I think the Rock will be a little bit, I say overwhelmed, but I think it could be a 1-goal game as well. So Rush money line for me, by the way.
Wow, you're crazy, man.
What? Next turf.
Jeez. So
tell him.
I got two things with this one. Like Pat pretty much covered a lot of it.
Sure.
But the reason why my bracket is the way it is, well, first off, because I have futures on Vancouver. Second off,
wow,
you guys are right. Like Toronto's on the opposite side of Buffalo this year. So if there's any year for Rosie to say like it's, because in addition to Toronto losing to Buffalo, you got to remember Rosie jumped ship to another team. And did they lose to Vancouver or did they lose to Buffalo last year?
They got their ass kicked in round 1. I'll check it, but like it wasn't. I thought that was one of the. It's funny that I gave Mike Board. I'm checking it now, but I gave Mike Board my GM of the year, and that was one of the dumbest things I ever did because like that meant nothing to the season for them.
Yeah, so I feel like even Rosie has a lot to prove here because he went to another team last year and still couldn't get it done.
There it is. They lost you health.
Even worse.
16-12. Like, come on.
But yeah, so I love the Rock here. I haven't liked the way Frankie's looked all season.
Nope.
If a healthy Matthews is back, I think the rookies get it done. And then did Saskatchewan get some momentum last week and pump up the locker room? For sure. But Toronto also took a few lessons with them last week and fool me once, fool me twice sort of thing. Like they're not going to want to go back to this place and blow another lead. So I look for them to come out hungry and I look for Rosie to like say, hey man, like this is finally my year to show that I am a goalie that can win an important game in the playoffs and get my team to that next level. Cause I think that's one thing for all of Rosie's career is he doesn't have like a defining moment or season where, I thought it was last year when he went to Calgary with my Roughnecks. I hate it? I hated it. But I'm thinking like, okay, man, like this is your chance. And it didn't work. He didn't get past the first round. So I'm looking for a hungrier Rock team, a hungrier Rosie, and a younger team to kind of get this done against Frankie. Old Frankie there, Frank the Tank.
It's like the battle of goalies who Captain could care less for. I do want to throw my name in this hat in case it happens. And I don't know why I feel like this, but Nick Rose is 38 years old. And
Never kissed a girl.
oh wow, 40-year-old version are we doing? Okay.
No, it's a tragically hip song.
So I wanted to mention. This is there we go. Bold. I like this. I like that take. So
that's why I got her out.
I think it sounds nice. Well, Reebok was packing that thing.
I'm on the bandwagon, bud.
I think Rose could retire after this year.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he always does work at the track, and it's not like Jimmy Doubt was not okay, like just sending him to Calgary last year.
Yeah, but that was a very well planned rental piece. And hey, did he ever leave Toronto? Come on now.
We all knew it. Yeah, you're right. We all knew it.
Hat's on. The guy.
Oh yeah, like Mike Board got absolutely like screwed like in broad daylight. It was like getting a ZJ. Everyone was watching like this. Like you can't. Those things supposed to be on the down low, sir. I can see a scenario, especially if they win it. You think he's coming back? Because you're picking who to win the finals.
Whoa, I'm not just gonna spoil. Whoa! I'm not gonna give any spoiler alerts away. They're all gonna have to stay tuned to the commercials and watch after.
Great points.
But two things here, mister. One, I think Rose might retire if he wins. But two, bro, the guy never moves. So you think he's gonna retire if he doesn't?
He ain't gotta do much more.
He can't be tired, so why would he retire?
Hey,
he never moves his feet, man.
Hey,
guy's never tired. You're probably the only guy ever walks off the floor without breaking a sweat. As long as they don't have to pull him in the fourth quarter, man, the guy he's so positional. It's not even like this isn't even me insulting him. The guy's just so positional. So when those ones go by him and he just does a shimmy shake, you're like, it looks bad, but
you're gonna
he is a good goalie. So we'll see what happens. I think this is his year. I said last year was his year, but last year didn't happen. So heck with last year. This year is his year. Now tell the people to go to commercial and show them.
No, you're not done yet because I got to tell you a fun little story that you're going to like. So today I went to get myself some sausage and egg biscuits. I don't know what they call them up there in Canada. Okay. I went to go get some sausage egg biscuits from like the place like, right behind our house. And this little old, he's like 60, 65 years old. And he was like, he saw me in my security uniform. I'm like gigantic, like looking lazy as crap. And he goes like, where you work at? So I tell him I do security, blah, blah, blah. He's like, how do I get me a job there? Because he could tell I do nothing I told him I do nothing all night. And it was kind of reminding of Nick Rose. It's like, this guy is like, where do you work at? Well, I play goaltender. Really? I'm sorry. Like security, you must not protect anybody. Like you're probably right. I'm barely protecting my arteries. Anyways. I appreciate you, Captain.
Show the people the brackets.
Soon, Captain. This guy needs to be patient, don't he? Even though I was the one trying to leak the bracket early. We'll be okay. For the record, 2 points for every first round team that wins for you. 5 points for every semifinal team that wins. So that's 2 chances there. 10 points for picking the champion. 1 bonus point for each series, the correct amount of games, and a tiebreaker of how many goals were scored in the final game. So you can get a grand total of 31 or 32 if your tiebreaker comes through. Alrighty, we come back to this awesome show. I will get to the Crew's bracket. I will not tell you who their finals champions are until after our Silas Richmond segment. But you're watching Dilly Dive Round 1 preview. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive. I am your host, Michael Karvelis. You are watching the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. It is currently Friday, April 24th, 2026. Game day for Halifax and Vancouver. 2:11 p.m. on the East Coast right now. In case you're watching the pre-record and you care, you don't. So I have an announcement to make for people. I haven't even told our crew members this. Now, our crew members did participate in a bracket challenge thing, which I will unveil their picks in a minute here. I have created a bracket challenge for fans to join. Now, I will probably do a giveaway on this, but there won't be some extravagant social media posts. But tonight at 9:30 Eastern, the bracket will close. But as soon as the show ends, I will post a link to a bracket that all fans can fill out. You basically have to go on there and like pick your final score and stuff like that. I'll try to see if I can simplify it. But after the show, if fans who are watching or on socials want to try that, they can. I don't know if it'll be a massive giveaway, but I might do like some, Amazon gift card or something for the winner. So we'll do that. But now, and stay tuned for the Silas Richmond interview coming up after this. Best bets for the weekend. I have got the Warriors to cover against the Thunderbirds. Minus 118 on cool bets. Cover 1.5, that is. Buffalo, Georgia, under 21.5. In the U.S., it's 19.5, so I'll take that. The Mammoth to cover against the Seals, 1.5. The Rush money line against the Rock. And give me the Bandits to win the finals at plus 460 on FanDuel. Gamble Guy has got the Warriors to cover against Halifax, even though there is a minus 165 money line on BetMGM. I think he might take that instead, but I'll let you know what he says. He likes Buffalo, Georgia, under 21.5 as well. Mammoth money line against the Seals, and Rush money line against the Rock. For Pat Gregoire, Bandits swarm under 21.5. The best part is no one knew what each other's bets were until we all submitted them, and we all had that bet. Rock to cover 1.5 against the Rush tomorrow night. Keegan Ball under 7 points. And of course, Captain told us he's throwing a ladder on the Warriors tonight against the Thunderbirds. Check him out at LCapE10 Picks. You can find all of our social medias at Daily Dive LAX. And now let's get to the Cruise brackets. We're going to start with Gamble Guy's brackets. He's got the Mammoth and the Rush on the right side of the brackets. He's got the Warriors and the Bandits on the left side. He's got the Mammoth to beat the Rush. I believe it's 3 games. I'm going to make sure. Yes, 3 games for the Mammoth to beat the Rush. He's got the where's it at? He's got the Bandits to beat the Warriors in 3 games, and then he's got his Mammoth winning against the Bandits in 3 games, and the final game has a total of 26 goals, 14-12 Colorado. For Tim Dillon, this is insane. He's got the Seals and the Rock. He's got the Swarm and the Thunderbirds. He's got the Rock to beat the Seals in 3 games. He's got the Thunderbirds to beat the Swarm in 3 games. In his NLL finals, he's got the Thunderbirds to beat the Rock in 3 games with a final score of the final game combined 17 goals. I think he said 9-8 actually. Let's go to captain's bracket. Captain is picking the Mammoth and the Rock, the Thunderbirds, and the Bandits. Remember, Captain said he's got a future on Vancouver. So that one took a little bit something. He's got the Rock to beat the Mammoth in 2. So enjoy your 1 home game, Denver fans. He's got the Thunderbirds to beat the Bandits in 3. And he's got the Rock to sweep the Birds in 2 with a final score in the convincing game, in the closeout game of 17. My predictions. I really should not go to Duluth tomorrow. All right. I've got the Mammoth and the Rush. I've got the Warriors and the Bandits. I think Colorado beats Saskatchewan in 3. I think Vancouver loses to Buffalo in 3. And I think with a final game being 12-9 for a total score of 21 in the final 3rd game, give me the Bandits. Too easy, man. I think Mike, because I told people I was leaning, like I was kind of like, can the Swarm really pull it off? Then I thought about the context of Buffalo losing to Oshawa. I'm like, okay, I don't really care about that one. I think that we're going to have a great final matchup. There's so many games that can be played that would be awesome. But Mike Strahl actually did it for me. He mentioned about Josh Byrne slipping up, maybe not slipping up, but kind of saying final run. Now, we thought Matt Vince was done last year. I think we should know he's done this year. And for Josh Byrne to say final run, they're going to go crazy this postseason. And again, I told people I've had 3 completed seasons of Daily Dive. All 3 of them ended in Buffalo championships. Like, this show has not seen another champion besides Buffalo. I think that'll continue this year. When we come back, I will air an interview that I had last night with an awesome prospect named Silas Richmond. You may have heard of him from the University of Albany. Philadelphia Waterbugs and NLL fans, tune in next. You won't want to miss this. You're watching Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to another pre-recorded interview here on Daily Dive. I'm joined by a very, I think special is a strong word, but like a very good lacrosse player in Silas Richmond, University of Albany, number 5 pick in the PLL draft. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you having me on.
Appreciate you for being flexible with the scheduling here, as all of our pre-recorded guests usually are. How's the week going for you?
It's going good. We just finished up. We had a game against Yale out of conference, and now we got one more game in conference here, and then next week's our conference tournament. So got some family coming down for that. So I'm excited, and it'll be a big time for us, American East tournament. So win and move on. If you lose, you're done. So high pressure.
Woo!
Yeah.
You guys beat up on the smart kids first, just to tune up for that.
Yeah. No, we didn't beat up on them. We didn't.
No. Oh, so I appreciate you joining me here. You play for the University of Albany. Big deal, I'd say, in lacrosse. Lyle Thompson, DeHogan Anacote, so many other great players. Did you, as a younger person, did you know about the history of University of Albany, who played there, or have you kind of grown to appreciate? How's that work for your brain?
I feel like it was more like growing up, like the Thompsons were like. That was like perfectly in my era of when I was a kid, like watching lacrosse. Like I watched their highlight tape like every single day on repeat.
Jeez.
And I still do. Like I still watch it all the time. I just love the way they play. And I mean, there's a lot of highlights to go through. So there's a couple videos out there. And but yeah, so that's kind of where I originally kind of started watching Albany, and that was kind of a dream school for me growing up. Because of that. And then with the thru video coming out for Fields and the Anacoke and watching them go on that run in 2018 to the Final Four, it's like, man, this school is awesome. Like they just pumped out so many good players. All the players seem to love lacrosse and really have play with a fun style. So yeah, I've really been a fan of Albany since I was a little kid. So it's pretty cool.
I love that you briefly mentioned, I still watch their stuff every day. So I'm going to get to that point a little bit later, but it is interesting. Your coach said in an interview I saw that you're like a lax rat, and he says you're always watching film. I love how you just threw that in. They're like, this guy literally all he does is watch lacrosse stuff. I love it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I grew up going to games like all the time with my dad. Growing up in BC, going to like Queen's Park and going to all these different senior games, junior A games. Like when I was younger, that's all I did with my dad. And I would bring my stick and I would go at halftime in between intermissions, and I would stay after. My dad would stay with me for like an hour and a half after the game so I could go play at Queen's Park or whatever it may be. And that's kind of how I grew up, like around box lacrosse, just always watching and always just having the stick in my hands.
Do you sleep with the stick? Because I know the coach didn't know the answer to that.
Not always. No, I don't.
Not recently.
No,
when you were a kid,
no.
you was like a teddy bear.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember the Thompsons talk about how they did it, so I thought it was cool if I did it for
I
when
love
I was
that.
younger. But now, no, not anymore. Grew out of that.
I love it. Oh man. So which you said you watched the U Albany guys. Which players in like whether it be whatever level they play at PLL or any league, what players have you learned from to make your game better over these last few years at Albany?
I'd say growing up, like one of my biggest idols was Logan Schuss.
Oh.
He's from Ladner, just like me. And growing up, he was at Ohio State when I was younger, and then he went on to play for the Ohio Machine, obviously for the Minnesota Swarm, and then for the Warriors, and then had a bit with Roughnecks there. But he was huge for me. He would give me all of his old gear, and he would come by the house with a care package for me, like whether he's at Ohio State or with Ohio Machine. Like, it was awesome for me. So that was really like seeing someone from Ladner like go play at Division I and have a ton of success. I think he left there the all-time leading scorer. So he was a big role model for me. And I'd say people I really model my game after would be Lyle for sure.
Feels like it.
That's a tough one to model your game after, but I would say like guys who are kind of my frame would be like maybe Mark Matthews and like a Pat Spencer, like those kind of guys that kind of are bigger but kind of have the skill and the kind of hands to work inside and kind of just trying to build all around game like those guys have.
Brandon O'Neill's I don't even know if Brandon O'Neill's that tall. Like, you're 6'3" or 6'4"?
Right around there. Yeah. So,
Is he that tall?
He's around there. I don't know how tall. Yeah, he's pretty tall. He's big.
You're 2 or 3. I forgot
he's
6'2" or 6'3". Yeah.
Filled out big time.
You're working on that. You were just like, we're up here first, and we got to work on this.
I'm working on that.
There we go. I love it. So let's go to your viral. I mean, I'm sure you've had a lot of these. But was the one where you got drafted and then that video came out of you on the field? One, did you see that coming by chance? And two, was that like the pinnacle of your social media hype so far?
It was pretty sweet. So going into the game, like obviously it was a really big game, and that was the Leanne Gleason game. So he's a Siena coach, and it was a really big game for kind of just the area of Albany. So there's a lot of emotions going into that, and then having the draft kind of in the background. I was really trying not to think about it, just play my game, but obviously it's a little bit in your you're thinking about it a bit.
You're hearing these guys like you, they might draft me. Like,
yeah, exactly. So going into the calls, like I had a great call with the Water Dogs, and I was like, yeah, that'd be a great spot to land. Like obviously they have Kirsten Sowers and all these guys, Jack Hanna, they're just flooded with talent. So that was a spot I really wanted to go. And then after the game, like hearing that, just being surrounded by my teammates was crazy. It was very, very cool. And just kind of, it was just senior day was a couple days before that, and that was there. So it was just a really cool time, a cool week, and just kind of a bit of a whirlwind of a week for like social media and all this. So that was a crazy moment. And seeing ESPN posted that was wild.
Oh, jeez.
I was like, wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, the one day they actually do like lacrosse like we do, it's gonna be insane.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Like just the little bit of hype that we see. But I mean that trend like kind of started like Lacrosse Network and others just started showing like other draft videos that happened. So you kind of like re-sparked a trend that was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, all those draft videos are actually awesome. It's kind of cool too, because like Jake Pacino, he's on the Nighthawks now.
Yeah,
he plays for the Outlaws. But when he was here, he got drafted, and we all did the watch party and the huge celebration. And you see so many of those different watch parties with their team. So it's pretty cool to have like a different one. For me, it's kind of wild, a little bit different than the usual one, but it was pretty special.
That's awesome. Which do you know which person is credited? Like, can you shout out the person who actually had the idea or the camera? Do you not know?
No, I don't know actually. I honestly just playing the game and
soak it in.
All of a sudden it goes in the jumbotron, and I'm like, all right,
thanks guys.
Let's go.
Right. Go Philly, I guess. There we go.
Yeah.
So let's go back to your lax rat mentality. Again, I saw the interview. I was like, that was awesome. I mean, I can do this, but like your coach also said, the biggest lax rat he's seen in 35 years, and I believe that includes the other guys.
Yeah.
So if you did want to be mentioning a little bit of breath of Loud Thompson, it's right there. He did it for you.
Yeah.
When you heard that, what was your take on that? And just tell me like what all that entails for you.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of those things like I said, growing up around in British Columbia, this is probably Canada-wide thing, or even the States, right? A lot of the kids in the States grow up watching college lacrosse. It's a little different for us. We grew up watching box lacrosse, watching senior.
More fun, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty wild though, because just like growing up, watching those players, and then just like now being at that stage and playing senior and going through the ranks in junior, and now it's my draft year, and it's pretty wild, like growing up watching those games and just seeing the stuff those guys would pull off. I was always like the ball boy and the mop boy for Delta Islanders junior A team. And
That's awesome.
Guys like Chase Fraser came through there, Trey LeClaire. So like watching those kind of guys, like.
Was Fraser doing that stuff yet?
Sorry?
Was Fraser doing that sicko stuff yet?
Oh my God. It's probably crazier in junior.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, he was an unreal. He was crazy to watch. And I would literally that was kind of where my lax rat kind of comes from, is like, I just watch these guys that I looked up to, and I would just stay after, and my dad would just hang out and just stay at the arena with me for hours after, and I would just try all the stuff I just watched them do. And then also on top of that, my dad and I would always just go to the field together, and we'd go to the box together, and he learned how to pass and catch eventually, but he wasn't the most talented lacrosse player.
Right.
But he loves it. He loves it. And he loves me, and he wanted to help me the best he can. And he really did help me a lot, and I really appreciate him for taking me to all these games and for staying with me after, and then going to the field and going to the box with me. Like, he really built this love for the game for me, and that's kind of, even though my dad isn't with me at school here, it's kind of carried on, and I still have this love for the game, going to practice by myself, and I really like to call them when I'm practicing, just talk to my parents or listen to music or whatever it may be, and I just feel like kind of at ease when I do that.
What music are you listening to?
I switch it up a lot. I listen to some rap, I listen
different
to country.
Okay. Whoa. Country. Ugh.
Come on. You
can't do it, man.
Spread it out.
I know. So it's crazy. So with this, with your game, and everyone knows on Daily Dive, I'm a big box lacrosse guy. But since you got drafted by the Water Dogs, for the sake of PR, I had to word this question. I already told you what the question was, but like, had to word it in a way where it's like not like trashing on field. So, Silas, what are the differences in your game for box lacrosse versus field lacrosse?
Well, it's actually a good question, because honestly, I think that coming down here, my field game has actually helped me a ton in box lacrosse, and my box game obviously has helped me a ton in field lacrosse. So like, when I first got here, I had more of a box lacrosse background. I grew up playing field, but not as much.
You always want to drive the net kind of thing, or?
Yeah, but like just the contact that you get in box when you get to field, it's like, okay, I can take this contact all day, and then kind of the in tight finishing. It's like, I mean, when you go from shooting on a small net and the net gets bigger, it's like, okay, shooting and in tight finishing really helps you out there. So that, I would say that kind of helps a lot. And then the field side of things, like the footwork and the dodging, the speed, the kind of athletes they have in America here that play like Division I lacrosse, compared to some of the box athletes, there's a difference, to be honest.
Broccoli heads is what I call them?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of the big defenders that hit hard, but it's just different with the set of footwork and the kind of athletes that you're playing against. So you really have to up your game in that area. So I really do think that playing box and field has made me a much more complete player.
I feel like the endurance of field would be interesting. Like it is like a big old soccer field. Like,
yeah,
I don't know like how, like, because on one side like, you're getting thrown about, and then on the other side you're like having to pace yourself. That's interesting dynamic on how it works.
It is interesting, because I'm attacking field too, so like I just play offense in both.
Right.
I find it is different though, like the kind of shape I got to be in for box and the kind of shape I got to be in for fields. It's not necessarily one or the other is harder. It's just different. Like when I go back to box, it's like I'm just on and off, and you're getting hit so much more. So I feel like that kind of tires you out.
It helps you out with the long running. So okay, well that makes up for that.
And most of the time you're playing in a sauna of a barn in the middle of summer. So
jeez.
But
I didn't realize those things didn't have AC. It didn't occur to me like that. Jeez.
Sorry?
I never occurred to me those things might not have had AC. The box. I never thought about that. Oh my. I'm feeling like it's like a basketball court, but it might not be for some arenas.
No, it's honestly it's not. Like the especially the arenas out in BC. Like I know Ontario has a couple that are really really hot too, but wow. Ontario or BC has some really warm arenas. Jeez. It adds to it though. It's fun. Yeah.
So, I remember talking to Jake Nason at the Montana Lacrosse League, and fun fact, this superstar Duke guy had never played box until Montana when I just happened to be doing my first play-by-play gig. And I was asking him, like, he said, well, I like to run. And I was like, well, you saw you're running past everybody. Even though Montana was a little bit smaller arena, it was so cool seeing how much he quickly fell in love with the physicality. But you're the opposite. You're like the Canadian kid that comes down and plays the field game. It's so cool that works.
Yeah, no, I think that's the biggest thing for lacrosse is and how they can grow is getting the Americans to play more box and then kind of growing the field side of things in Canada, which is it's been growing. Both sides have been growing a lot, but really kind of coming together and then getting really complete and hopefully bringing in other countries in that too. I know like Japan, lacrosse in Japan and Jamaica is on the rise, and I've seen that in the world. So just
we're
kind
screwed
of
if Jamaicans get good at it.
growing lacrosse as a whole, not just box or field, you know.
Right. I'm gonna say we're screwed if Jamaicans get good at it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The Japanese are getting there too. I've seen.
They're quick, man. Decisive.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, man. So let's go now to NLL a little bit more here. I would love to ask more PLL questions, but we'll get there one day.
Yeah.
So I know you're like watching the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
Do you like? Did you root for for Vancouver Warriors? Is that what your rooting interest is?
Yeah, like growing up, I always had season tickets to the Warriors.
I saw you liking the Canucks thing. I was like, okay.
The stealth, and then the Canucks and the Warriors. So
throwback.
Been a fan for a while, yeah.
Do you know a lot of the guys on the team right now?
Yep. Oh yeah. I watch I watch NLL every weekend, so
I love that.
I know my stuff.
I love that. So are they going to win the finals, or who's their biggest threat?
Well,
if you're scared, are you scared of Buffalo? Who are you scared
Buffalo,
of?
I'd probably say Buffalo's the biggest threat, just because obviously they've won 3 in a row, and
right.
Honestly, the way they started the season, I feel like almost adds a little more fuel to the fire in a sense, where they really found their game and kind of got battle tested early on. But also Colorado's been playing really good. They're a really good team, and then obviously Sask has the experience from last year, so it's going to be a good playoffs. And then there's some guys on the outside that I think can make some noise too, like outside of that top 4. But I think Buffalo is probably the biggest competition in Vancouver right now.
Well, round 2, once you miss round 2 with them, you feel you're comfortable after that.
Oof, I don't know.
Round 2 on a bracket with Buffalo's tough.
It's an open league this year. Even the top 4 teams are all like 1 game apart, and then beyond that, still like there's not that much discrepancy between those teams.
That's why I said the unified standings was actually a good investment, because I think long term, like this year, we saw it. Like you can't beat those standings this year.
Yeah, it was good. No, I agree with that for sure.
All right, so now let's get to our final thing. NLL draft for you will be coming up in what class are you again? I should have known that.
26.
So it's coming up this year.
Yeah, this year.
Oh my God. Woo!
Yeah.
So, with no pressure, with that being said, what is your selling point to NLL teams? Like, well, if a coach or a GM or someone, if Kurt Malosky goes out to you and says, why should the Vancouver Warriors potentially, if you fall to them, draft Silas Richmond?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like to try to let my game do the talking and then try to stay humble. But I feel that I've become more of a complete player over the years, and coming down to college, I feel like I've really matured my game, and I think I can play in so many different areas now. I can play off ball, on ball. Really learned the past couple of years. I had really good experience playing senior this summer. Kind of learning to play with the older guys. I don't know. I just think that I've gotten better at dodging, so I'm more of a one-on-one threat. I can shoot from the outside. I feel like I can get to the inside. I can play off ball. So I feel like I have a lot of growth to still do, but I feel like I've kind of become a better overall player. And if a GM likes my game, then I'd love it, and I really want to play for him. And if I'm not the player for them, then that's okay. I understand.
Their loss.
Everyone has their preferences.
Their loss is what I would tell them to their face. Sorry, you made this big mistake.
Yeah.
Take Joey Spallina, I dare you.
No, come on.
Have you talked to your contemporaries in the draft coming up, or are you kind of
like other guys getting drafted with me?
Yeah, like the top guys.
No, I haven't talked to them too much. I don't really. I just don't know them overly well. They're at Syracuse. Most of the guys I've heard is like Finn Thompson and Spallina. We have a really good class.
Whatever.
We have a really good class.
You're doing your own thing. These guys are stacking a deck over there. Like, get out of here with the orange.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
Interstate rivalry, you know.
They're a good team, man. They're a really
I
good
know.
team. They got a lot of and then I know Dante Bowen's in that draft too. All Syracuse guys there, and yeah, but it's a really good draft class, and I think there's not too many wrong picks you could make probably in the first round. To be honest, is going to be a good draft.
Y'all got big shoes to fill, man. Like this year's draft was awesome.
I know, and then next year's draft's really good too.
2027.
Like
Oh my God,
Banks, Deere, like it's going to be unreal.
I feel like we'll be Silas Richmond fans here on the show, so that'll be cool too. No, I may interview some other guys, but you're like the first one we get to, right? So appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, Silas. Any parting shots or anything you want to shout out before we let you go here?
No, I just appreciate you having me on, and shout out to Delta Islanders Junior, and yeah,
go Warriors, right?
Gotta show some love to my boys, and yeah, hopefully the Warriors bring it home in this playoffs.
I love it. Appreciate you, Silas.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
I want to once again thank everyone who watched today's show, as well as our guests, which included Pat Gregoire, captain, and Silas Richmond. Silas is an awesome person to interact with. Forget the fact that he's a human highlight reel. That was cool that he graced us with an interview. Shout out to him getting drafted by the Philadelphia Water Dogs at number 5. Cannot wait to see where he goes in the upcoming NLL draft. But before we get to the offseason, we got to play some playoffs. So hope you guys enjoy it this weekend. I know I definitely will. Our social medias at Dilly Dive LAX will be popping because we got a lot of things to post, including the best bets from the crew, including the brackets, including the link if I get that fired up for the playoff bracket in time. Also, I'm going to have the fresh fits thing that fans are voting on. Lots of stuff happening, and 4 single game elimination games. I'll be in Duluth tomorrow. If you're there, reach out, Dilly.LAX, or find me at Michael Karvelis. I would love to see you there. See you guys next time on Monday, same time, same place, 1 o'clock Eastern, right here on North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel. Until that time, I am Michael Karvelis, and this has been another week of Dilly Dive. It's the playoffs. Bye.